Yes, very good evening, students. Welcome to Akshar Online Classes. This is Gafar sir, your physics faculty. Let's start our session for today. So, in the last class, I have given introduction for what is physics, and also I explained that how many topics, what are the topics we going to explaining. That what we did. So today I'll directly start our actual topic. So the topic is units and dimensions. So if you talk about importance of this chapter, this is chapter is enhance your mathematical abilities, as well as it enhance how to how to calculate the physical quantity, what are the units we have to give the physical quantity, everything we learn in this chapter. Understand? So before starting the lesson, please give me the confirmation. Is my voice is audible? So if it is yes, you can raise your thumb because it has a what chart option also. If my voice is audible, please raise your thumb so that I can understand. Yeah, I hope it is clear. I'll start the topic. The topic name is what? Units and dimension. Better everyone take a notebook and start writing what I am explaining. You see, I'll give a 1 minute time for writing what I explained here. So you can make a note in your notebook. Everyone take your notebook and start writing. Got my point? So now our topic name is units and dimensions. Units and dimensions. This is our topic. First, we'll explain about units. I think it is not appearing to you. The name of the topic is not appearing. So let me write somewhat below. Units and dimensions. This is our topic name. Yes, it is clear. Now, first we will talk about units, later we will talk about dimensions. Generally, when we are talking about units, so let us understand first what is a quantity and what is meant by physical quantity and what is a system of units. That part we have to learn first of all. So now, first of all, let us take a quantity. What is the meaning of the quantity? Here, quantity means anything, some amount. Understand? Quantity means anything, some amount. We can state as how much. Anything quantity we can state as how much, how far, how long, and something like it is a representing some amount, that is known as a quantity. So this let me give some example about this quantity. Examples are nothing but, so your height or length, mass, amount of anything, amount of substance or number of strands. Your class strength is also a quantity, and also your number of books also a quantity, and weight of the book is also quantity. So such a way that we have some quantities. So that is examples. Let me write here examples. Strength of the class strength, next stars in the sky, stars in the sky, stars in the sky. So these are some examples about quantities. And length of the cloth, length of the cloth, length of the cloth, length of the cloth. This is some examples for what? Quantity. Here, but this quantity has two types. The quantities have two types. Let me write here the quantity types. So, first one is countable quantities, uncountable quantities. First one is what? Uncountable quantity. The second one is countable quantity. Countable quantity. See here, the uncountable quantity means we cannot estimate the number. That kind of quantities are known as uncountable quantities. We cannot estimate the number by using any instrument, by using anything. We cannot. It does not have a chance to estimate the number. That kind of quantities are known as uncountable quantities. Examples. Let me give the examples here. Examples. Stars in the sky. Yes or no? Stars in the sky. Stars in the sky is uncountable. We cannot measure how many stars are present. Even human emotions, isn't it? Human emotions. Human emotions also not having any. We cannot we cannot estimate, right? For example, the affection between your mother and you is that is nothing but a quantity, that is affection. The affection we cannot estimate, isn't it? Because no instrument we have to measure the human emotions. So that means human emotions are uncountable. That is not countable. That kind of quantity is known as what? Human. The affection between wife and husband also we cannot. That is also uncountable, isn't it? Such a way that the uncountable quantities we have. And coming to the countable quantity. The countable quantity means anything quantity which can be measurable by an instrument is known as what? Countable quantity. Example here, even this countable quantity also known as what? Physical quantity. This countable quantity is also known as what? Physical quantity. Example for physical quantity. Daily life, we are dealing with many physical quantities like mass, length, time, distance. These are examples for what? Uncountable quantity. The countable quantity also known as physical quantity. Very important point it is. Which means that the physical quantity is a quantity which can be measurable by an instrument. Examples are what? Mass, length, time, force, next amount of substance, temperature, current. These are examples for what? Uncountable quantities, nothing but physical quantities. I hope you have got clarity between the quantity, countable quantity, uncountable quantity, isn't it? So you got clarity. Now we will concentrate more on countable quantities because we are dealing with physical quantities. When you are talking about physical quantity, you must we will deal with what? Countable quantities. Now I am taking out here. Please note down. Let me take out this. Yes, I hope you have written. I am taking out. Next, to measure these physical quantities, we'll use units. Yes, to measure these physical quantities, we'll use units. Let me first introduce unit. So, what is a unit? Anything to express any physical quantity, we'll use units. Examples here. Example, we can say that for mass unit is kg, for length unit is meter, for current unit is ampere. This is the way we have a units. So but this unit is what it is expressed. It is a unit to express, any physical quantity we are expressing with units. This unit have some specification significations. Without unit, we cannot express the physical quantity. For example, when you are went to the shop, when you go to the shop, you are asking some sugar. When you are asking some sugar, how do you ask the sugar to the shopkeeper? You ask the sugar, 2 kg sugar I want. This is the way you will appeal for him. Am I right? You are tendering the sugar that way, isn't it? So here the 2 is a magnitude, 2 kg is a unit. Without unit, we cannot express the physical quantity, isn't it? So that is the way the unit is useful for you in our daily life. But to measure, to take this unit, we have some systems. That is nothing but system of units. That is nothing but what? System of units. There are 3 system of units we have. Now next topic is what? System of unit. System of unit. So there are 3 system of units we have. The very first one is FPS system, and the second one is CGS system, and the third one is MKS system. Understand? Here in FPS system, F stands for foot. F stands for what? Foot. P stands for pound. P stands for pound. S stands for second. So which means that in FPS system, the length units is nothing but what? Foot. And mass units are pound. Here time units are second. So that in FPS system, this is the units we use it for measuring the physical quantities. Got my point? And the similar way, let me talk about CGS unit. In the CGS unit, SC stands for centimeter, and G stands for gram, and S stands for second. So which means that in CGS unit, the length of the unit is centimeter, and the mass units are gram, and also time units are second. So in CGS system, time units are second. And similar way, let me talk about MKS system. So in the MKS system, M means meter and K means kilogram, and next S means second. So simply in the MKS system, the length units are meter and the mass units are kilogram and the time units are second. Understand? So this is how we will measure, we will take the units for different systems. But here, this FPS system generally used in UK. Understand? UK means United Kingdom. Generally, FPS system used in UK and Paris, in the region, that region will use this system of units. And in the CGS system, generally used in most of the Asian countries are using this CGS system. UK used in, FPS system is used in UK, and CGS system used Asian countries, and MKS system used American people. American people will use this MKS system. But look at here, the foot cannot be equal to centimeter, centimeter cannot be equal to meter, because these foot, centimeter and meter all are the units for length. But the thing is, this foot cannot be equal to centimeter, centimeter cannot be equal to meter. So that while measuring any length of the object or while measuring any length, let me take cloth length for example. If you are measuring the cloth length, when you deal with foot, it will give something value, something cloth, and when you are taking with centimeter, it will give some other value, some other length, and while taking the meter, it will give some other thing. So that there is a no, same thing, same physical quantity, same quantity you cannot get at a time. So that what would happen, some conflict will be created between the size of the cloth. So that what going to happen, you cannot get a correct length of the cloth. So when you not get correct length of the cloth, there is must be a, for example, you want to wear or you want to stitch a blazer, so that one hand is measuring with foot, another hand is measuring with meter. There is something like you will get some other thing. You cannot get a blazer, you will get something else. Because of difference in this system of units, you will get you went wrong, you go to in a wrong way. So that here the thing is, all the countries like UK people, America people, every countries, all the country all over the world gathered and combinedly given a one system of units, that is nothing but system international. What is that? System international. This is very important. That is called SI system. That is called SI system, which means that in the world, every country must follow this system of units only. That is nothing but system international. According to the system international, the SI unit of length is meter. SI unit of length is meter. And same way, mass units are kg, that is nothing but kilogram, and time units are second. So this is the way, this is the system of units we use all over the countries. Because when you use every country the same units, there is no conflict in that. There is no conflict measuring the physical quantities. So all countries will measure only one system with one system, that is nothing but SI. SI means what? System international. In this SI system, the length units are meter and mass units are kg, time units are second. But observe that, so here length, mass and time, what these quantities. So we will explain that what these quantities. So I hope you have understood what is this FPS system, what is this series system, what is this MKS system, and why we are using the system international or else system of units, system of SI units. Better note down. Yes, I am taking here. Now already I discussed that about physical quantities. Already I discussed that about physical quantities, countable quantities, uncountable quantities. Here countable quantities are known as physical quantities. But the physical quantities are three types. Physical quantities are how many? Three types. Already I discussed that this thing here last class, but once again I am giving information for you. The physical quantities, how many are there? Physical quantity. How many are there physical quantities? We have three types. First one is fundamental quantities. Fundamental. It's not mental, fundamental. It's fundamental quantity. Fundamental quantities. Second one is derived quantities. And the third one is derived quantities, supplementary quantities. Supplementary quantities. So this is the way we have how many types here? 3 types: fundamental quantities, derived quantities, and supplementary quantities. Here we have how many fundamental quantities? Already you know the fundamental quantities are 7. The fundamental quantities are how many? 7 fundamental quantities. So the 7 fundamental quantities, one is mass, second one is length, third one is mass, length, time, fourth one is current, and fifth one is temperature, and the sixth one is amount of substance, and seventh one is mass, length, time, current, temperature, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. Luminous intensity is one of the physical quantity. So here already I discussed the system of units. So in the system of units, all countries use SI system. Now let me explain units. SI units are these fundamental quantities. In the SI system, the fundamental quantity mass units are kg. Already discussed this thing. And in the same way, the length units are meter. Meter shortly represented with m. And time units are second. And the current units, you don't know about current, but the units for the current in SI system is ampere. SI system current units are what? Ampere. And the temperature units, Kelvin. Sometimes we measure in degree Celsius. The degree Celsius is not a SI unit for the temperature. The temperature units in SI system is Kelvin. And the same way, amount of substance units is mole. Mole is a unit. I think you will get this mole in chemistry, isn't it? And similarly, luminous intensity is candela. Candela is a SI system for what? Luminous intensity. So this is the way for fundamental quantities. We have SI system as mass units are kg, length units are meter, time units are second, current units are ampere, temperature units are Kelvin, amount of substance units are mole, luminous intensity is units are candela. So this is how the SI system for fundamental quantities. Now next let me talk about derived quantities. So in the total physical world, these 7 fundamental quantities we have. Only 7 fundamental, not much. Understand? Only 7. And also you know these 7 fundamental quantities also called dimensions of physical world or science world. Total how many dimensions we have? 7 dimensions. 7 dimensions of what? Physical world. Got my point? And coming to the derived, we have completed about fundamental quantities and its SI system. You know why we are using SI system here? The SI system we are using for not to get any conflict between the any conflict to measure the physical quantity, isn't it? Now coming to the derived quantities. Here what is the derived quantity? Derived quantity, it is a quantity depends upon fundamental quantity. Understand students? The derived quantity is depends upon what? Fundamental quantity. For example, let us give example for derived quantity here. I will write here derived quantity examples. Examples for derived quantity. You know area. Area is a quantity. It is a physical quantity. I think area is nothing but length into breadth. Am I right? Yes, I am right. Area means what? Length into breadth. You know very well. So here length is nothing but it is a fundamental quantity. Even breadth is nothing but length only, isn't it? Okay, so length is a fundamental quantity. Even breadth also length only, that is also fundamental quantity. Now if I write the units for here area, length units are meter and breadth also nothing but length only, that is also meter. So combinedly here what you will get? Meter square. Since the area is a derived quantity because it depends upon the fundamental quantity and the units for the area are meter square. Units for the area is meter square because 2 times we are measuring the length, we are taking the length, so that we have meter square. So what will be the conclusion here? The area is a derived quantity. And coming to the volume, one more example I am giving. When you talk about volume, volume is nothing but length into breadth into height, isn't it? Yes, it is right. Volume nothing but length into breadth into height. When length into breadth into height, length is a what kind of quantity? Fundamental quantity. Breadth is also nothing but length only, fundamental quantity. Height also length only, that is also fundamental quantity. So here volume, indirectly volume is a derived quantity. But here what is the units for volume? Length means meter, breadth means meter, height means meter. So finally what is the units for volume here? Meter cube. So meter cube is a volume units and volume is a derived quantity because it depends upon what kind of quantity is fundamental quantity. And coming to the one more example I will give, let us take velocity. Velocity is nothing but displacement by time taken. What is meant by velocity? Displacement by time taken. Here displacement I represent with S, time I am representing with T. So here displacement means it is nothing but length. So length is what kind of quantity? Fundamental quantity. And time also what kind of quantity? Fundamental quantity. Since this velocity is a derived quantity because it depends upon fundamental quantities. So children, so tell me now what is the units for the velocity? Here length, here time. So meter per second is a units for what? Length. You know children, the force also derived quantity. So force generally in our daily life we are using many times, many situations we are using the force. That force also fundamental quantity because force formula is mass into acceleration. Force formula is what? Mass into acceleration. Here mass is a fundamental quantity. Acceleration nothing but meter per second. So finally force also what kind of quantity? Derived quantity. Not only force, energy. In our daily life we are using many types of energies: kinetic energy, potential energy, muscular energy, and electrical energy, chemical energy, these all types of energy also nothing but what? Derived quantities only. Even momentum also derived quantity. Understand? Even current is not energy, current energy, electrical energy is a derived quantity. But current is not derived quantity, it is a fundamental quantity. Try to understand. I hope you have understood what is the meaning. So better write down the children. So now I will take out. I hope you have understood what is fundamental quantity, what is derived quantity, and how do you get units for the derived quantity, and what are the fundamental quantities and their SI units. And in the before we discussed that system of units. So the system of in different countries, different system of are using, but nowadays they are not using that system. So all countries are using the same system. That is nothing but SI. So according to the SI system, this mass, length, time, current, temperature, amount of oxygen, lumen intensities are I given. Better note down. So next, let me discuss one more type of quantity, that is nothing but supplementary quantities. So one more type of quantity is what? Supplementary quantities. Supplementary quantities. So what is this supplementary quantities? Here there are two supplementary quantities we have. So number one is plane angle. Plane angle. Next one is solid angle. Plane angle and solid angle. Understand? So plane angle is the angle between the two lines or two surfaces. For example, this is one surface and this is one surface. The angle between the two planes, or else the angle between two lines, or else the angle between two surfaces is known as plane angle. The units for the plane angle, nothing but SI unit I am telling radians. I am telling that SI units. Plane angle units are radians. So what is here plane angle? Plane angle is nothing but the angle between the two surfaces or two lines or two planes is nothing but plane angle. Got my point? And next, the units for the plane angles are radian. Got it? You know, 180 degrees is equal to pi radians. Generally, the CGS unit of this plane angle is degrees. So 180 degrees equal to how many radians? You know, pi radians. Which means that 360 degrees is nothing but how many radians? 2 pi radians. Shortly we will call it as a rad. Not rod, it is a radian. And coming to the solid angle, what is this solid angle? For example, if you take any volume, for example, this is a volume, imagine this is a volume. When you are taking about volume, so look at here, this volume is making at this corner, all three sides are making some angle, right? All three sides are making some angle at the corner. That three sides angle we call as solid angle. Got my point? Here plane angle we will take only the angle between two planes, two lines, two surfaces. That is called plane angle. But yes, when I was talking about solid angle is the angle, it will give the angle between three planes. Angle between three planes is known as solid angle. I hope you understood. But what is the units for the solid angle? Units for the solid angle is nothing but steradian. What is that? Steradian represent with the omega. Understand? So steradian is the units represent with omega. I hope you have understood what is this solid angle, what is this plane angle, and what are the system of units, and what are these supplementary quantities, what are the derived quantities. So I hope you have enjoyed the class and you understood this what I explained. So today I will stop the session. Until then, better write down this. I will give 1 minute time for you. Better write down this. So simply, plane angle means what? The angle between planes. So solid angles means what? The angle between three planes. The middle angle is known as solid angle. So children, today I will stop the session. So we'll continue in the next class. Better do some problems based on this topic. What are the topic we discussed today? We discussed that system of units, and also we discussed that what different types of physical quantities. These are the two topics we discussed. Okay. Today I am signing off. Bye bye students. Bye.